What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today we're here with the UFC 306 full card predictions. We got a great couple of fights at the top of this pay-per-view. I'm very excited to see the Sphere setup. I saw the photos of Dana White. Apparently Gru, the Rise of Gru Minions 2 will be playing on the screen. But outside of that, we got some great fights. We got Sean O'Malley versus Merab. We got Alexa Grasso versus Shevchenko. We got Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. And the rest are nobodies. All right. But outside of that, there should be some good matchups. These are my full card predictions. If you want some timestamps, go ahead down to the comment section. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Come back up, watch the full video, you lazy fuck. All right, dude. I'm not giving you timestamps, dude. Let's get into this, man. We got Rao versus Junior. I got you good, didn't I? We got Rao versus Junior versus Katlyn Aori, or whatever this dude's name is. I'm going to be going with Rao versus Junior by probably submission. I'm not going to overthink it. I was going to maybe do like a fake hardcore pick of Rao versus Junior by TKO, but realistically, when I think about this matchup, Arichi Lang's gotten finished a couple of times in the UFC by pretty low-level competition. He's taken guys like Jay Perrin to a decision. No disrespect to Jay Perrin, but Rao versus Junior literally sent that guy packing to the PFL, submitted him inside of a round. So I think that Rao versus Junior, with his pacing abilities kind of fixed after the C-Rod fight, he's going to be able to get takedowns without using all of his energy. And I think once he gets on your back, he's proven that he can submit pretty good guys. Like, what's that dude's name? I was about to say Ricky Glenn. It's not Ricky Glenn. Ricky, the dude off Tough. Yeah, Rao versus Junior absolutely submitted him inside 2 rounds. So I'm going to say Rao versus Junior. If he gets on the back here, he will get a submission. There is potential for a ground and pound TKO as well, but I definitely think he finishes this inside the distance, and we get a fucking chee-wee-wees on the mic. I know that's coming. So yeah, shout out to Rao versus Junior.
You would probably do a better job at being a fighter.
Let's move on though. We got Edgar Chairez versus Joshua Van. My boy Joshua Van's on this card. Now he's not a nobody. I like Joshua Van. He's a great prospect. You know, I'd love to fight him. But I'm gonna maybe shock some people here. I'm gonna pick Edgar Chairez to win this fight. Now, when this first got announced, I said, yeah, let's go. My boy Van is back. He's gonna get a TKO. He's gonna win a decision. Obviously, the loss to Charles Johnson, it's not that bad because Charles Johnson is a huge flyweight. But at the same time, I don't really consider Charles Johnson to be like a championship level fighter or like a ranked level fighter. But I've seen Edgar Chairez go toe-to-toe with Tatsuro Taira, right? And almost submit him. And I feel like with the reach advantage and the size advantage for Edgar Chairez against Joshua Van, because he's just such a small flyweight, you know, like he should borderline come down to atom weight and see me in my division. But he is a small flyweight, all jokes aside. And I feel like the short turnaround from getting knocked out is going to affect his chin. It's going to affect his weight cut probably. Like I think that's going to play a factor in this matchup as well. And I honestly think that Edgar Chairez is going to be able to get this one done with his grappling. And I know that Joshua Van is a very well-rounded, very talented fighter. He's only 22 years old. I don't think a loss is really going to affect him that much. That's why I'm not really worried about like, oh fuck, like is he going to come in, you know, out of shape? I think he'll come in decent shape, but I think Edgar Chairez is more prepared for this matchup, and I think he's going to be able to win a decision. So maybe a controversial opinion. I feel like Edgar Chairez is going to be able to get after him in the striking, especially early on because Van's a slow starter. I think he's going to win round 1 against Van. Maybe Van comes on late in round 3, but I think Chairez is pretty well-rounded, and I think he's going to get a decision win here. He's a very good grappler. I could see a submission. Like maybe if Van's chin is absolutely cooked, I could see Chairez hurting him and then getting a submission because he is nasty with his jiu-jitsu. But I'm going to say Chairez wins this one. Maybe a controversial pick, but I'm just going to roll with it. Next up, we got Yasmine Jaragui versus Katlyn Souza. I'm going to be 100% fucking real here, dude. I'm a hardcore fan. Okay, I literally compete. Okay, dude. I've never seen either of these two in my fucking life, dude. I don't know who either of these two are. I'm gonna pick Yasmine Jaragui because she's Mexican and she has a reach advantage, and it's probably gonna go to a decision, and she'll probably win. I think I have seen her fight before. She is actually pretty good. I saw her get chinned as well, which is a bit concerning, fighting someone named Katlyn, who's Brazilian. You know, that's a scary sight. But I'm gonna say Haragui or whatever her name is, wins by decision. Let's move on. We got Manuel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamondes. I'm very excited for this matchup. I think this is a great piece of matchmaking right here. Two very exciting young guys in the division. I think Bahamondes is right on the verge of the top 15, and I think if Torres kind of like, I think Torres is a guy they're trying to fast track to that spot. Like, I think Torres is maybe 2 or 3 wins away from being ranked if he beats Bahamondes. Like, I think they're gonna give him like a Drew Dober or somebody very, or like a Bobby Green or a Jim Miller. Like, they're gonna give him something like that if he wins this. And I think Bahamondes is in that spot for a reason. He looked really good in his last fight against Giagos. I like the fact that Bahamondes trains with Bilal Muhammad and Yair Rodriguez, and he's like the main training partner of Bilal Muhammad, and I think that's going to be like osmosis to make him better. You can see he's improving from his last couple of losses. I'm going to say Ignacio Bahamondes wins a decision in this. I think that Manuel, if it's a finish, I think it's Torres because he's just such a dangerous fighter. He's very aggressive. He's very exciting to watch. I really like Torres, and I think that he has a great chance in this matchup. But I'm just going to throw like a fucking... Just going to go out on a limb and just say Bahamondes is going to use his range a little bit better. He's going to be a little bit more composed. He has just a little bit more experience, especially in the UFC. And I think that there's going to be more kind of hype and pressure behind Torres. He does have some good performances on his resume. His last fight was fucking crazy. That was like a round 1 KO, I believe. I got Bahamondes by decision. I think that the range and the experience is going to be a big factor in this matchup. I've seen him fight better guys. Obviously, he has more losses, but again, they're against UFC caliber guys, whereas Manuel Torres just got here. And I think that this is the type of matchup that we can see Bahamondes has clearly improved from his last loss. I think his last loss was to like Ludovic Klein as well, which he's a serious guy that I think will be a ranked contender soon. So yeah, Bahamondes has only fought really like top level, I would say, prospects in the UFC. I don't think he's fought ranked opposition yet, but he's fought top level prospects and he's looked impressive, especially lately. So I'm going to say Bahamondes by decision. Maybe he gets a KO if Manuel Torres gets sloppy, but I think he's going to be tough as fuck. So it's going to be a sick matchup. Give me Bahamondes in that one. Headlining the prelims. Alert. We got Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont. Now, this is actually a good matchup. I'm not even going to make the fucking joke of like, Norma Dumont, like, I'm not even going to go there. I actually am looking forward to this fight. I know that you are sitting there in disbelief right now. Did Bedtime just say he's excited about a WMMA fight? Did he just compliment a WMMA fight? Yes! I like Irene Aldana. She's actually cool. Norma Dumont, cool. Actually tries to win fights. This is a good matchup. I'm going to pick Irene Aldana because she's Mexican and this is in the sphere. But I also think that she is the better striker. She's fought better competition. She has a power advantage, I would say. I know Dumont's coming from featherweight, but she's fighting legit nobodies, like actual fucking nobodies. Whereas Irene Aldana, you're looking at losses to Amanda Nunes, you know, Holly Holm. I know that's kind of funny, but, you know, still, Holly Holm's a problem, man. You know, chicks like that. I was going to say guys like that. I think Irene Aldana's striking is going to be the difference here. Her jab, her hook on the inside. I think body shots are going to be a big factor against Dumont, who's cutting down from featherweight to bantamweight. She is a big bantamweight, and I think the weight cut's going to be a factor for her. Maybe it'll affect her chin as well. I'm going to say Aldana's going to have the bigger moments in the striking. Dumont might do all right, but I think sometimes she tries to strike too much. My only worry is that she might be able to just manhandle Aldana, because I've seen Aldana get taken down really easily in fights, but I'm going to trust that it was because it was like Amanda Nunes and Macy Chasson, who is like the female Michael Chiesa. But, you know, Michael Chiesa, he can wrestle, so I'll give Chiesa some respect and say that, you know, Aldana's a little bit better than Dumont. She's fought better competition. I think she's going to win a decision. It's going to be a good scrap, though. Borderline, like, I know that there's other good fights on this card, but this is actually one of the fight of the night, in my opinion. I think this will be one of the most entertaining fights. So, my picks for the prelims, we've got Aldana, we've got Bahamondes, I've got Jaraguay, I got Shirez, and I got Raul Rosas Jr. All right? Let's move on to the main card. Opening things up on this masterpiece of a night, we've got Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Oday Osborne. And I think I mentioned this in my bingo card video, but I have a bad feeling that Oday Osborne might win this fight. I don't know why. I'm not compelled to pick Oday Osborne. I'm not going to pick him, but I just want to say this so that I look like a genius if it happens. Why can I see Oday Osborne somehow fluking a win in this one? I'm not going to say he's fluking it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he could pull off some crazy shit here. But then I think about it more logically. The thing that scares me is the reach advantage. I'm just going to say he's just bigger. He's more powerful. The reach advantage really worries me for Ronaldo Rodriguez. He's pretty untested. I haven't really seen him fight anybody besides his debut. Like, I haven't seen his resume and gone, wow, that's a good win, you know? Like, he's just kind of a puffed up prospect. But that being said, I think Ronaldo Rodriguez is going to win by submission. Oday Osborne is getting submitted by guys like Brian Kelleher and just pretty much anyone who can really successfully take him down. We're seeing Oday Osborne get out-grappled, and we're seeing him get submitted in his past couple of fights. I think Ronaldo Rodriguez is legit in the grappling. I don't know necessarily what's up with his striking yet. His gas tank, these are all question marks to me. But I have seen his grappling in effect, and I know that he's a good grappler. So I'm going to say Ronaldo Rodriguez gets a submission in late round 1, early round 2. Just because he is the better grappler. And like Oday Osborne has a weakness against that. And Rodriguez is the younger guy. And if it goes to a decision, do you think they're going to give it to fucking Oday Osborne? No, dude. So I'm going to say Ronaldo Rodriguez wins this one pretty convincingly. Let's move on. We got Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovich. Now, this is a banger matchup, dude. This should definitely be on the prelims of a pay-per-view, but this is a good fight, dude. This should not be the fucking lead into the featured fight, but it is what it is. This is what we're getting to. What's the question, kid? Yeah, this fight's badass, kid. I'm going to pick Daniel Zellhuber, and I think he's going to have a masterclass. I think he's just going to use his range. He's going to use his reach advantage. He's going to use his boxing advantage to beat Esteban Ribovich. I think for Ribovich to win this fight, he has to KO Daniel Zellhuber. I think Zellhuber is going to win. Just like I said, just piecing him up at range. I think the jab is going to be a huge factor in this matchup. I think that once it leaves round 1, the chances for Zellhuber go up. Ribovich is a very exciting, very explosive fighter. He's pretty good. But I can't look at the Terrence McKinney fight and be like, this guy's a fucking monster, man. I don't know, dude. But I have seen Zellhuber's last fight, and I remember watching that thinking, damn, this guy's actually really good. I think he fought, oh my god, he fought this little dude from Florida, bro. He fought a pretty good guy. Like, that was pretty, that came in the UFC short notice, and he was super tough, and he was really exciting, and Zellhuber made him look really, really dumb with his striking. Like, he put on a really good performance. And I just think that this is one of those fights that they've put on to showcase him in the sphere. Yeah, I think he will win convincingly, but even if it's not convincing, like, again, you got to think about what this card is. And I'm going to talk about the fucking judging in this shit later, because there's a fight where it's going to be really important. And I think you know who I'm talking about. All right? I don't care what her feet look like, dude. Okay? But listen, man. I think Zellhuber's going to look really good. I think he's going to put on a 30-27 masterclass. Using the jab, using his range. That reach advantage is just so much. I can't ignore it. I cannot ignore it, dude. That's the way that he fights as well, because some guys have it and they don't use it. He has it and he uses it. Pause, I think. Let's move on, dude. Bedtime. Are you really picking Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez? I'm glad you asked. Listen, dude. I got my reboot card, bro. I'm ready to play Fortnite on the Sphere, dude. Dana said I could play Fortnite on the Sphere if I win my fight, dude. So, you know, I have to get him out of there. I have to get the Dr. Doom skin, bro. Brian Ortega is going to win this fight. Brian Ortega is going to win this fight. Sorry, my cat had to leave the room. Anyways, what was I saying? Brian Ortega is going to win this fight, dude. I believe that when it comes down to it, I've already made a video breaking down the technical side of this. Go watch that if you haven't seen it. Talking about the way that Diego Lopez fights, the way that he boxes, his grappling, Brian Ortega's takedowns, his ability to use the clinch to get people to the fence. All of the technical, like, outside foot battle stuff, I've already covered that in a previous video, so I'm not going to waste your time repeating it. I'm just going to give you my prediction of this fight. Brian Ortega, 30-27, 29-28, 29-28. These are the scorecards that I believe will get read. And I think that Brian Ortega, when it comes down to it, is too much too soon for Diego Lopez. I think Lopez has looked really good in his fights. He's shown great power, great finishing instincts, good jiu-jitsu. Obviously, we can see that because he's working with other UFC like top-level guys as their coach. But Brian Ortega is top 3 in the rankings for a fucking reason. He beat Yair Rodriguez, melted him at elevation, and Yair Rodriguez trains at elevation, and he got completely fucking melted by a guy coming off the couch from a huge layoff with an injury that that Yair Rodriguez already had a psychological edge over, having beat him already, even though it was an injury injury submission or whatever the fuck. He still had every possible advantage. In Mexico, trains at elevation. Ortega looked like a blob. Ortega rolled his ankle during the walkout. He still completely melted Yair Rodriguez. Took his best shots. Pause. Major pause. No Shannon Sharp on that one, bro. Okay? Alright? Walked him down. Out-wrestled him. Finished him. I think that Brian Ortega's boxing is heavily underrated. I think Diego Lopez's boxing is overrated. He has good power. He uses it well in the clinch. He swings wildly. He slows down because he tries to finish the fight at every chance he gets. If he tries to jump on a submission on Brian Ortega, he's going to lose it, and he's going to end up on bottom. And I don't think he's going to finish Brian Ortega with his boxing. I don't think he's accurate enough. And he has good power, but Brian Ortega has one of the best chins in the featherweight division. One of the best chins in the UFC, period, bro. I think Brian Ortega's cardio, his chin, his underrated boxing, his game planning ability to walk you down and take you down and out-grapple you, I trust him more than I trust Diego Lopez. I think Brian Ortega is going to win a decision. He's going to have some trouble early on with Diego Lopez's power in the clinch. Then I think he's going to push him to the fence, take him down, wear him out. And as Diego Lopez gets tired, Brian Ortega is going to land good shots in the boxing, pressure him, take him down, avoid submissions, land ground and pound. And I think he's going to win a decision based on his grappling and just based on his experience. He's going to, and the thing that I like about this matchup too, he has a full camp as well. He has a full camp now, and he just seems so much better in this fight. I was nervous going into the last one because they were meant to fight again, they meant to fight earlier, and there was just something off about Ortega, and I'm glad that he literally was like, yeah, I felt like shit, I had to pull out, blah, 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 and now he's back, he's in such a good mood, he's talking about playing Fortnite and shit. I think Brian Ortega's in a very good space, injury-wise, mentally-wise going into this fight. And I think that he's going to win a good fight against Diego Lopez. It's a good matchup. I'm very excited for it. I like Diego Lopez. I think he is a good prospect. I'm not saying he's like a fraud. I just don't think that he's on the level that people are making him out to be, where he destroys Brian Ortega. I haven't seen anybody destroy Brian Ortega inside a round. I've never seen that happen. So I don't. If Yair Rodriguez couldn't do it, because that's what he's good at, just boom, catching you with some shit and finishing you. If Yair couldn't do it, Volk couldn't do it. He took down Volkanovski. He managed to take down Max a little bit sometimes. I just think that he like all the things people point to about Brian Ortega as to why he's going to lose this matchup. You're talking about him fighting literally the two goats of this division. And whereas Diego Lopez, I can point to him struggling with Movsar Evloev in the boxing. Right? I can point to him struggling with Joe Anderson Brito and regional guys before he got to the UFC, finishing him or beating him up with ground and pound. So I think Brian Ortega is going to win a decision. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. And yeah, dude, you know, it is what it is. Dude, it's part of the storyline. Make no mistake, though, he will immediately get 50-43 by Topuria in his next fight, but he will beat Lopez. All right? Let's move on to the co-main event. And listen, dude, I picked Shevchenko the second fight in the rematch, and I believe she won that. Okay? And even though in my heart I want to say Valentina Shevchenko is better than Alexa Grasso. And I know you won't agree with me because you think she's hot. And I don't give a fuck, dude. She's obviously cute. Like, I know that. I know that she's hot, dude. But you have to accept facts for facts, dude. And Valentina Shevchenko, that 10-8 in round 5 was bullshit. Everyone knows it. On a Mexican event, she miraculously gets a 10-8 in the round where she's losing and she's about to lose the fight on the judges' scorecards. And it's a draw. And she gets a custom belt. And Dana White glazes her. And everybody just moves on with their life like she won the fight. They are 100% set on having Alexa Grasso be the champion at flyweight. They are done with Shevchenko. I've literally, like, my prediction for this is Grasso's going to win. everything I'm saying is true, but Grasso's going to win because I've literally seen Shevchenko beat Grasso and not get given the decision. This is UFC Mexican Independence Day Noche event in the Sphere. The entire event is basically built around Alexa Grasso and Sean O'Malley. And you seriously expect me to pick Valentina Shevchenko by decision? I can't do it. They will never give it to her. They will never do it. So I'm going to say Alexa Grasso will win because I don't think Shevchenko is going to finish her. I think Grasso has the advantage in the boxing. She probably hits a bit harder with her hands. But the thing that makes her able to not get finished by Shevchenko is, even though Shevchenko is the better kickboxer, we've seen her beat Grasso in multiple rounds. We've seen her able to take down Grasso. Grasso's grappling is so good that I don't think Shevchenko will finish her on the ground, which is how she usually finishes people at flyweight. You know, people consider her this nasty striker. She KO'd Jessica I. Okay, whoop-de-doo, so would I. All right, dude. Her main skill at flyweight in terms of dominating fights is the grappling. But I don't think that's a factor against Grasso because of how good her jiu-jitsu is and, you know, just the way that she's able to get up and scramble and end up on top. So I do think that Alexa Grasso will be able to out-grapple Shevchenko. And I think that she's going to have big moments boxing. But I think Shevchenko is going to win the kickboxing exchanges. But the little moments in the grappling and the boxing favor Alexa Grasso, and I think she's going to win a decision. I think it's going to be a very competitive matchup. I think Shevchenko is the better fighter, but Grasso is younger. We're in a Mexican-themed event. It's probably going to go the distance and be competitive. You do the math and tell me who the UFC wants to win that fight, and I'll fucking move on. I got Grasso by decision. Main event, we got Sugar Sean O'Malley. Dude, imagine not picking me, dude. Versus Merab. I obviously debated young Kenneth Okoye about this one. I beat him 50-45 in that debate, by the way. And he's picking Merab, and I'm picking Sean O'Malley. I think Sean O'Malley is going to KO Merab Dvalishvili. I think that Merab is a pretty bad matchup for O'Malley. I think he's going to give him some trouble in terms of making him less high output, which is one thing that Sean O'Malley's really good at, is being really high output with his boxing. But Sean O'Malley has the Sniper Hall of Fame badges equipped. He doesn't need to go high output to finish you, right? He doesn't need to one-hit KO you to beat you. He can follow up with TKO, with ground and pound TKO really, really well. We saw that against Aljamain Sterling. We've seen that in other fights where if he has to follow up, he's extremely accurate. He's not going to waste energy trying to finish you if you're not ready to be finished. Where we've seen Marlon Moraes gas out doing that to Merab. We saw Cejudo kind of go crazy when he hurt him, and that kind of got him in bad situations in the wrestling. I think Sean O'Malley's patience, his composure, his range control, his shot finding abilities, he is going to find Merab's chin. We've seen Merab get rocked in multiple fights. We've seen that Merab's boxing and striking is just not that good. And I think Sean O'Malley has to prepare for the grappling of Merab, but Merab has to prepare for so much more. I just think that Sean O'Malley is the better fighter and he's going to win by KO. I think it's going to be either late round 1, early round 2. He's too hard to pin down without a striking threat. Like, people are pointing to the fucking Piotr Jan fight as, oh, but Jan took down Merab, took down O'Malley. Merab has no threat striking, zero threat striking whatsoever. Jan is one of the best strikers in the UFC. Merab has like a 27% takedown accuracy. And Sean O'Malley against Jan is preparing for one of the best strikers in UFC history, who can also wrestle. When he's fighting Merab, he's preparing for a guy that will shoot 50 takedowns, has no threat striking, causes zero damage, genuinely will not submit it. Like, there is genuinely a percentage, like a statistically higher chance of Sean O'Malley getting a submission in this fight than Merab. So I think that it's just going to be a matter of Sean O'Malley waiting for the right moment, and he will have a lot of moments in this fight because of that, the way that Merab fights, and because of the fact that he's not a finisher. He has no threat standing up. He's going to do okay in the striking because of the wrestling threat, but I think that if he tries to prolong that in any way, he's going to get hurt. Every single person O'Malley fights, he hurts them in the first 2 rounds. I think he's going to hurt Merab with a right hand, maybe a knee up the middle. And I think he's going to follow up accurately if Merab's hurt enough. If Merab's not hurt enough to get finished, I don't think O'Malley will try and force it. I think he will just take the damage of that round and stuff a takedown, sit against the fence, having won the round based on damage and based on, big moments. And I can see that being a factor as this fight goes long. But I don't think it's going to hit round 4 and 5. I think OMalley's going to KO him eventually. Too accurate, too composed, too sharp. Yeah, I think OMalley's just a better fighter overall. His takedown defense looked really good against Aljo as well. And that was coming off an injury and against a guy who is a better striker in Aljo, who is more dangerous if he takes you down. Yeah, I think this is the type of fight that OMalley looks bad for him on paper, but I think he's going to make it look pretty good. And I think he's going to have a pretty crazy KO cap off the card. But these are my predictions. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. Drop your predictions in the chat. If you guys are enjoying the videos, drop a like. Subscribe to the channel. We just hit 49,000, so that is fucking insane. A year ago, I hit 1,000 subscribers. Deadass a year ago, I'm pretty sure I was out like 1,000. So you guys are just complete fucking legends. I really appreciate you guys. And yeah, I'll be doing a fight companion for this card, so stay tuned for that if you want to watch it with me. Come hang out with your boy. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys there. Have a good one. Goodbye.